And we're back for Game 4 of the World Championships. It's been a nice series so far, back and forth through most of these games, but the past two have been kind of a bit of a blowout in favour of Damwon Kia. Obviously, we're gonna come into this fourth matchup with a possible perfect prediction for ourselves here. It is
the biggest upswing you can get.
Amazing.
Did they really
how close it
lose
is.
one game to give fans false hope? That is,
It does seem like it.
But draft is ready.
Honestly, though, Damwon
I think
have been
hopefully
so
it is.
good this entire year.
I'm
last year
intrigued to
as
see how the
well,
drafts
so
go.
dominant,
Because
and
if you don't know,
you mentioned the story
I've
from
not
Ron,
actually
it's just even
watched
more
Game
special.
2 yet,
Pre-announced, he's returned to
and the
military
start of Game
service after
3.
this, so this-
I watched
this
the end
is-
of Game
these are his
3
last professional
because
games
if you
on
didn't
the
know, I
Rift,
kind of went
and what
out
better way to go out?
and
He's already
bought some
gotten
stuff,
a
but I had
pentakill
to
here
go
at
out to do
Worlds,
other
now in the
means,
finals of
and
match
they
point.
were kind of more important
But
than Worlds,
EDG
sadly.
have been in this position before.
Nonetheless, this
They
should
were
be interesting,
2-1
as I
down
have a
against
tie in my
GG,
hand.
and they were able to bounce back.
Yeah, it's
Against
weird.
RNG, they were down. They were able to bounce
So,
back. This is a team that
as
does
I knock my
adapt very
mic,
well. And what I think is
I am
very impressive, not just
intrigued
about
to
EDG,
see how
but
this
the LPL
goes.
as a whole.
As
In
a
4
whole,
years, they've sent 4 different LPL
And
teams
the
to the
beat
World
has kicked
Finals.
in.
And last year, yes, it
Just
was Junin
the
that fell short to Damwon Kia.
climax
EDG
coming
have shown that
into
they
the
can
music.
go toe-to-toe. They can
And
compete.
yeah,
Ultimately, it
looking
all
at
comes
the
down
draft
to
so
this.
far,
Can they adapt
EDG
in
are on
time
blue
to bring us to a game 5,
yet again.
or will Damwon secure themselves their back-to-back
And we're still
World
seeing
Championship
Yumi
title?
And if
removed.
they do it,
EDG
it
are the
has
ones
to
to
be
remove the
15
Aphelios.
games
That
through
might
the
change
knockout
Damwon
stage
Kia's
at Worlds. They
picks
have to
here.
go the complete
Possibly go
distance
banning out the
if
Jin
they are going to turn
themselves.
this one
The
around. It would
classic
be-
LPL.
They're banning out the
It's just
Jarvan.
the tenacity
That's been
of
a
this team cannot
harassment
be overstated, as we
favourite
are
for
already into the
JJ.
draft.
All
He's
right,
been
and the
using that to
Aphelios fanned out
solve
this time by
pretty big
EDG,
success.
Forces the ripple effect
Now,
of those changes.
will
Now you don't
Jin
follow it
be
up with
banned?
Nami. Jarvan comes through instead, trying to target
We
JJ
might actually see
instead of the
Lucian
bottom lane,
first pick for
instead of that
EDG.
Lucian-Nami combination. So either
And
they
the
get
Nami
the Lee Sin left up
or
or the
Lee Sin
Lucian-Nami combination.
is going to be
Because
up.
I think EDG is sitting here saying, you know what? We will play
There's
Lee Sin.
quite a lot
we
of
don't
options
think
here.
you will play Lucian Nami.
They
Of
banned
course,
the Lee
Khan can
Sin.
lock in the Lucian,
Well,
but you
that just
lock in the
means
Lucian top
you
this
lock
early on into
Lucian
the
now.
draft. We're about to find out.
And can you
Or
actually lock
Jin.
in the Lucian here? Because you want to lock in Lucian Nami. You can't get it together if you're first pick on blue side. Of course, Nami not going to be picked without Lucian all that often, so maybe
I
you
think
throw that
they're gonna
gambit,
pick the
and it looks like
Lucian.
that's what EDG are going to do.
There we go.
But is there
That
some
should be
way
the
to get
Jin
Meryl on a
or the
Nami here to try
Kaiser
and throw a
coming in
wrench
here
into
for
their
Damwon.
works?
There's no other
That's sort of
partners
the
for Nami
counter that
are
we've
as good,
seen
and I don't think the
coming out
value
during this
from
World
the
Championships
steal
is the
away
Kaiser pickup
is enough to
instead of,
actually
say,
give you-
Jin.
give you that choice,
But
but they might
they're
do it.
hovering
What-
the
What's going to
Nami.
be the partner, though?
Will
Okay,
they take
is it
it
gonna be
away?
Like a misfortune, or you know what?
I
what
don't
sort
think
of
you can
dominating
take the
bottom side of
Nami
map would you have?
without
And then,
the...
for the side of EDG,
Wow.
They're
they
taking
could-
it.
They could
Nami
also.
Jin.
You could also remember this is
Uh.
flexible now. Yeah, Lucian, we'll just give it to Flandre again.
And
have
they've
him-
locked in the
have him
Jin.
Split top.
If I'm EDG, I just go, want to play a
I'm
Lucian Thresh.
intrigued.
Yeah.
One of the old school, super dominant, powerful.
You've
Why
still
steal
got Braum.
bottom?
You can pair that up with the
But I
Lucian.
think that it's also
There
just
is
great
Thresh.
into Nami.
There's
and
a
I also
lot
think it can be a great
that
answer
could actually go
the
into
Jin as well. We
Nami.
haven't really seen
This is
much
quite a
of the
weak
champion
bot
this
side
tournament
for
so
Damwon
far.
Kia.
But then I go and forget
But
the Mako
Lulu
who's
could
only really
come
played
through.
range champions
There we go.
at this tournament.
That's pretty
and
good.
Lulu is going to be locked in instead. So
I
still
still
a very
feel
powerful
Lucian
bot lane
Lilu
duo
is
for
very
EDG.
strong.
Exactly,
It's
and
not
still
as strong
can-
as
can still
Lucian
provide
Nami,
those buffs to the
but
Lucian to get
it's still
the
a
most out
solid
of the
bot lane.
passive. Yeah, it's
And
ideal
Jin
with-
Nami
with
is
Nami,
quite
but
weak
Lulu as well has been
because
utilized
Nami
in so
doesn't
many of
provide the
those
same
matchups.
sort of
And
stats
instead
that
of having
she
to,
does to
you know,
Lucian.
flex the Lucian around or things
So
like that, you get
the
the
flex
Graves pick that has been
ability
so incredibly
EDG
pivotal in these
has
games
with
to
this
make
draft
it
right
go
now
walk away
is
the
quite
talent
huge. The
here
Lucian
for
could have gone top
Canyon.
side, but they've locked in the Graves.
And that is going to be a
That's
lot of
gonna
firepower
put the
coming
Lucian
out
down
of
bot
the
side.
jungle, but still,
Graves,
the solo
obviously
lanes
top side
completely
champion,
left up in
could
the air.
technically
Let's see whether
flex
Damwon
into
actually
jungle
have a
though.
bit of
I
a
highly
plan
doubt
for
it.
this one.
It's not been a jungle
Going
pick
for
all
second
season.
there.
So
or split.
if I'm down
It's
one,
not that
obviously
good
you're
in
looking,
jungle, so
to try
I
and get
like
yourself
this
top lane
pick.
solid answers. But you
The
also have to
talent
blind pick
comes
something,
through.
And well, I say blind pick.
That's
you just pick your
huge,
answer into the cannon.
because we saw
Cannon.
that come to
Grave,
considerable
the reason why I
success
mentioned
for
cannon is
Damwon
'cause I
Kia
expect
during
EDG
their
to look
previous
to ban
series
that
Brain's
along
too
with
fast for
in
his mouth.
their
the Gwen
last
as
game
well.
win.
Exactly that, Atlas. And I think that it makes sense.
Now we
for
just have
EDG
to
remove
realize
a lot of those elements, and
mid
already
lane picks
we
are
gonna see
all
them
up and
take it off the
available
board,
to
but it does
both
seem that
teams.
Damwon is
The
interested in
pool
removing
should be
Scout's mid lane
kind of
options. Because what we can
isolated.
say about Showmaker,
Showmaker
is that he's a
still
very
can go to
versatile,
lower
flexible
blanc.
mid lane. And we
That
can
is
say the same
open.
thing about
EDG
Scout.
could
But if
I
you
can
remove
quite
some
easily
of his
ban it.
comforts in the form of Rise,
But-
LeBlanc, or is still up and available, and
Well,
now
LeBlanc's
is going
gone.
to be removed.
I'm
we're now
not
saying,
sure
okay,
what
you're gonna
EDG
play
can
the
go
control
to.
mages, with
Zoe?
which we have seen BDD
Zoe could actually
shut
come
you
through.
down on, so Showmaker can likely do the same thing
Syndra
with his final counter pick at the end.
is up.
Yeah, they
Azir
could be
is up.
setting themselves up for protecting
It's going to be a
Showmaker
controlled
to
mage mid.
blind
It has
pick
to be.
Syndra first on red
It's
side, thereby
still
leaving the final counter pick for Khan here.
Quite hard
and
to
get their
choose a
leverage
champion to
matchup
pick.
that way.
Obviously, Syndra is good.
By already double
I still
protecting.
would favor
Double top lane
Scout
ban,
Zoe.
top lane bans coming through from EDG though, and that
Jungle
Syndra
wise,
pick,
we've
I
already
think,
got
is
the AD
exactly
jungler.
what they want. You need
We
setup
could
CC,
see a
talent
Gragas
is exactly
actually
all
locked in
too
by
much.
EDG this
Syndra
game.
feels like a bit of a no-brainer
But
here.
Damwon,
Will be the first
they
time we've
do
seen
get
it,
first pick here in the
surprisingly,
second
from Showmaker
phase.
in this
They're
series.
gonna go
But no,
towards the
Gwen is
Gwen,
going to be the
maybe?
consideration first. A lot
That would
of
work. It is AP.
variation when it
It
comes
would
to the
work
damage.
very well with
I
the
really like
talent.
it.
Yeah,
with
EDG
locking down
opted to
targets
ban
and
the
it's actually
Jace
gonna come
instead
through.
Of the Gwen, the other big AP option that has been
So yeah,
very,
Gragas
very frequent
is
into the Graves for top side, so they end up getting it here for
and that
Khan,
would
and
work quite
definitely
well, I
feels
feel, into the
comfortable.
Gwen.
I got really excited because I thought maybe this means we'll get to see Showmaker on an AD mid laner, but then I'm like, well, okay,
Maybe
they do
not.
have talent.
Zoe
they do
is
have G,
hovered.
so they probably can.
I like that.
Is that? Oh yeah, maybe
we go.
maybe that's the throw out. We'll
Boom,
have to
there
wait
we
and
go.
see. But
Zoe
the other
locked
blind picks that we
in,
have seen
very
come out from
solid.
Scout, in
What's
particular
going
in
to
the
be the
semifinals, was his
EDG top?
Zoe, and he was massive
Viego?
under this champion, getting a
No,
lot
it's
of
jungle,
early
sorry.
kills thanks to JJ. And the
Viego,
moment he got a
wow.
slight lead, he ran away with the game.
And also
Been a
Viego
while
did
since
see
we've
a
seen
lot of
him
success,
much.
then sort of fell out when we got to the knockouts. It felt like he was
It's a
really
solid
starting to
pick.
climb the ranks when it came to the junglers, and then it was JJ
He's
just picking
still-
Jarvan all the time, and there were Lee Sins happening.
I
all
don't
the
know.
time.
I
Viego
like
sort
it
of
because
fell
you
down.
can
Of course, that's
steal away
third spot in
quite a
priority from the
lot of
jungle.
power. He
Not
could
really
steal the
necessarily
Nami.
needing to be looked at just yet, but it is the Orianna lock.
Lucian Nami is still possible
but also not exactly the most exciting.
with this
So what
comp.
I love about these drafts
Viego
is when you
can
look
just
at
steal the
frontline,
soul of Nami
Graves
and
is like
buff
the
up the
tankiest person
Lucian.
in the entire
Oh
game.
my
There are
days.
just a lot
The
of
buff
squishy targets,
still
a lot of
exists.
high damage
That is
targets,
so
and a lot
hype.
of
I
things
love this
that can
pick
go
for
wrong
EDG.
both sides, depending
It
on
just
how the
means
teamfights
that
play out.
they
that
keep
level of volatility is exactly
a lot of
what you wanna
power.
see
I
from two
like this
teams who
comp.
are so good when it comes to
I
teamfighting.
favor
Lots of
EDG a lot
damage,
more than
lots
what
of range.
Damwon
This
have.
increases the
But
importance
you have
of
to
those
realize
small movements.
Talon
Vision control
goes
to set
invisible
up these
with the
picks
ball on
because,
top of him.
like you're saying,
Shockwave
these fights are gonna be over
plus
quick,
his
and
ultimate
the rewards
is
are
a
gonna be very
massive
big for winning
burst
them
of
because
damage.
They're all squishy here. They also have
In
reset
essence,
champions in
what we're going to be
Viego.
seeing
You know, they're putting
is
so much faith here
avoid
into
the sleepy
JJ,
trouble
this young
bubble
guy,
at all
trained
costs
up
from
by
the
Clear
Damwon
Love,
Kia side,
taking over
and
here for
then
EDG,
on the EDG
this
side,
is
they're
such
trying
an
to avoid
exciting
that
way
big
to go
shockwave
up match
combination
point.
that
Yeah.
can be
I'm very
kicked
much
off
looking
from
forward to seeing
either
how this
Nami
Nami's gonna
wave.
work on the bottom side.
It is very
that
good.
denial going to pay off?
I
This is something we were
personally
talking
think
about at the beginning of the draft, and
a
we're still
lot
not
can happen
necessarily
in
sure.
this
But one
game.
thing I do know is
It's
that so much
two
of this
big team
hinges
fighting,
on Scout. If they can
explosive
get that
comps.
first bubble, that first
Talon
pick,
will be
it's
looking
gonna
for an early
so
game pick.
incredibly beneficial
That's
for
how he
EDG
plays.
to try and get
And
control
it's
of this
probably
game.
going to
Hop
come on the
Rift
top
Off
side
might
as
be
Flandre
the
may
final
get
game
bullied.
of the World
Bot side, I
Championship.
don't think you can
See
actually
whether
lock down
EDG
the
can bring
Lucian,
us to those silver
but maybe the Lulu. But the polymorph can always come out and stop the dive. That's the play, as bot side.
Vision. It looks like
Oh, he spotted him.
Beryl is going to respect that.
Barrel's
and
gonna
all
back
EDG
away,
will
and
back
good
to base. So
overall
I kinda
for
wanna use this opportunity
EDG,
very quickly to
they
talk about
get
Jungle. They
lane
are so
pressure
close to
early.
securing their second World
They're going to
Championship title,
leave
but I
the
also
bot
wanna
lane
highlight
Viper
how
and
few
Mako down
titles
there,
this
so they're
team
definitely going to
actually
get the bot
has.
lane
It
title.
was only in 2019, Atlas,
And
this
wow,
organization even even joined the LCK, and
Yeah.
it wasn't even in
Damn
2019 where the
Kia.
tournament actually started.
You think
No, it wasn't. It was when
2019
Ghost joined
was
the
when they
lineup.
joined.
And of course, that was in 2020.
that is
summer,
huge.
And it felt like something clicked, right, with this squad. But that means
They've just
that it
done
has
so
not been
much in
very
so
much
little.
time since this team really found their stride, since they really solidified
And yep,
themselves.
here
at
comes the
top
early
of
game
the
fight.
LCK. Baron
a lot of pressure put down. The ebb and flow gets two bounces.
Say,
That's
they
good.
don't have very many titles yet because they haven't had that long of a history, like you're saying. Not a lot of time to convert on those. See about this bottom
So
lane
jungle starts, it's going to be solo starts for the junglers technically, as they'll get a slight leash from the top laners, so they're sacrificing their lane, and both teams are actually going to know that it is a top lane start, due to the fact that both bot lanes are fighting together, and the top laners are late to the lane.
It's such a big thing, the vision in the side brush in these double range matchups, because being able to drop the extra damage, the aggro that comes from the range.
So bot side, Lucian is always going to have a strong push against Jhin, who is limited by the amount of autos he can put down. Whereas Lucian always is going to be able to kill minions quickly, using his passive extra double shot. And with the Lulu there next to him to buff him up, it means that it's going to be quite easy to either freeze the lane for Lucian and the Lulu nearer to them, or just have a slow push.
Being able to get this early push thanks to the low cooldown.
No, Zoe mid always is going to be able to have push with the paddle stars, just having constantly low cooldown and the ability to just absolutely dismantle a bot lane. Now, lane is finally going to push in for EDG and bot side. Rome's going to come out into a blue steal. They're going to force a smite out. That's huge. Talon no longer has smite, which means that Viego can get this blue buff for free. This is Viego's pretty good play overall.
So then, you see the smite in front of you. Now I have full confidence. Your blue buff is mine.
Exactly that.
So, great play is if Talon's smite didn't smite the Gromp, he would have given over gold to JJ. Either way, that was a win-win play for EDG. They weren't going to lose out on that. Unless he died. That's the only time. But because bot side had push, it was not going to happen.
Something that many junglers often aspire towards.
And again, too, looking at the lane matchups and how the junglers
and now Talon's looking to steal away camps. He's just going to walk in and find out the red buff is no longer there.
Extremely well, but Graves so much early wave control keeps pushing the wave.
JJ's just pushing. He's doing a lot of work. I think he actually got double scuttle.
JJ happy with
that's huge if he did. And that means that he's going to have a slight early lead. He's up in CS, a lot of CS, honestly. And he's already began his second clear.
Decided that he needed to get that reset in right away. So, down 3 camps right now.
Massive jungle advantage here. Again, playing off of those lanes with the lane control. That means everything.
Top side, we can have a look at.
Pick and choose, and I really like the
fairly even, honestly. Graves has gone for the more sustainability for the lane with the biscuits and the health bot, along with a Vamp Scepter. That means he's going to be able to stay in lane a lot longer, heal up, and deal with a Gwen who has her own sustain with the snip slips. She, however, has also gone Doran Shield, expecting a lot of pressure to come out from EDG. However, we're not actually going to see that as bot side. Exhaust is used, bubble lands. And it's just going to mean massive health bar chunks taken out of the EDG bot side.
Sustain is from Talon's bot lane. Fleet footwork, also has the biscuits, also started boots and health pots, also has the healing from Beryl. It's just
the list goes on.
As much as Viper wants to fight, he doesn't.
Viego gonna force the flash out of the Orianna.
Viper and Maker don't have the
I'm actually surprised it's Orianna and not Syndra, because Syndra into Zoe is slightly better than the Orianna, because you can use your orbs and then scatter them straight through the Zoe who uses the portal, and there's enough range for it to go through both ends of the portal forward. That's why people prefer Syndra over Zoe, as Gwen's ult just is used.
onto
And
Flandre there.
Snippety
He's just
snip
using it to
away at
push
the
out
wave.
this
He's going to push out.
himself into the position.
He hasn't got TP.
Meanwhile,
So
Minion
he's
playing off
just
of his
forcing
winning,
the wave
pushing
in to
bottom
stop
lane.
it, a freeze
The
from
Na'Vi
happening.
steal away really paying
Lulu
dividends for
could
this
be
team.
killed
Mako
here.
is playing with
Canyon
fire
is
down here on
there.
the bottom side. But come
Oh.
on, he's sleepy, and he is going to drop a scout. Portal
What
jumping
the
around, but he will be able to pick up that
happened
first
there?
blood. Canyon
Exhaust gets put down
immediately
onto
exhausted.
Canyon.
He gets towards
He's
the bottom
gonna
side,
be
and the
forced
defense
back.
from EDG down
Lulu
here
is
beautiful.
level
Ghost actually
5,
taking a turret
almost
shot. He
level
didn't want
6.
Polymorph. Just
Ghost.
beautiful under Canyon in the flash.
Oh,
Will get Mako out of
what a
position,
play
even
by
sidestepping
Mako.
the bubble.
He just
Damn,
put
some
on the
beautiful
fancy
defensive
footwork
play
there.
from EDG.
The schmoove
Woohoo!
from EDG's bot lane.
That was
This duo
clean.
just sidestepping
And
absolutely
topside
everything.
is just a
And
lot of
EDG
pressure being
getting
put down by
advantage on the
EDG.
top
They're
side.
losing
EDG
red
can
buffs
steal away the red buff as
and
well.
possibly
so
the
everything going right
Krugs.
for EDG in
EDG
this
doing a
early
lot of
game.
work.
Let's have a look back and see
Oh, the
exactly
ward
what
spots
happens to
him.
Khan in the river.
And
Yeah,
he continues
well,
to
he
walk
walked
down,
over
but the
a ward
collapse
towards
comes
the
through.
scuttle when their jungler is
Hiding
bottom,
in wait.
into the dark
Once you
and
go into
scary
the
river
go
where
for the
JJ
honeycomb
and Scout are
plant, you're
waiting
gonna
with
just
open
die.
arms.
Because you then
wanted some
slow
money
yourself
for
down for an easy
two
paddle
days,
start
something
and
with
sleepy
fireworks.
trouble bubble.
So, of course,
Great
the good news
play
here
from
for
EDG
Darmon is
lying
that
in
they were able
wait.
to put Viper and Mako behind by burning all of their summoner spells, getting a CS lead, also getting themselves a tower plate. So even though there is
Now-
a gold discrepancy, it's not so dramatic that it's not something that Darmon can come back from. The big question is, okay, well, Khan died in top lane. Flandre
That
now
one
getting
Kia
very quickly ahead.
gonna have
because of the
to
CS that you
possibly
never know. A
invest
kill on
some
the
time
scout
up top
and a flashless Orianna.
with
what can JJ do with all of that? Those options at his disposal.
the fact
And he's
that
also
their
level
top laner
7
is quite
to
far
Canyon's level
behind
5.
now.
Well, you can definitely
Because
start,
that
Riftfield,
Gwen
since you have such
will
priority. You
be
mentioned both solo
needed
lanes,
in late game
you
fights
know,
as a big
moving
carry,
summoner spells
but
and being able
Talon
to trade sides of the map there.
almost
Herald
gonna get a
won't
pick
even
off
be
onto
contested
Viper.
by Dom
Will not happen.
because of those
And
advantages
for
from
once,
the solo lane matchup. So JJ
EDG are
gets his
gonna
alone
get
time with their Herald,
themselves
and
a Rift
Dom trying
Herald.
to fish around on the opposite side of the
And
map.
And this
the
is
great
so
thing
smart
by
from
EDG,
duo
they're
as well,
actually
because
just
they know
taking
that
away
Ken wants to
all
cross
of the
map,
camps
and he's
from
being
bot lane.
denied the red
CP
buff,
Trouble
which
Bubble
means
gets
that
thrown
he
out.
just can't get level
Talon
6, Kobe. He keeps getting it denied. This is so
It's
frustrating
just
as a jungler.
not gonna be able
all
to
he
do
can
much.
pick up are these small rocks on the bottom side, the little baby
yeah.
Krugs. He's been
The only
kicked
good thing for
around the
Damwon
map
is
from the
their bot
opening.
lane
This has
is
just been
ahead.
such
And
a
they're forcing the
well-orchestrated
wave
jungle
currently
diff. I can't
under
believe
the
I'm saying
turret,
this against Canyon.
crashing
Right?
the wave
When was the last
constantly,
time we saw this?
making
was
it
a
hard for
very,
Viper
very
to
long
farm
time
and
ago.
CS.
But JJ doing a
And you can
fantastic
see that
job, and
with
in
the
fact,
actual
EDG
numbers,
doing a
and the
fantastic job
gold
against Canyon.
is
And that's why
huge.
junglers
There is a
will
big
always
of a
point
gap,
to winning
300 gold
lanes.
there,
But it is really
between
what you do with
both
them too.
AD
So,
Keep
nice setup there
Ares.
from EDG. Now they've got
And
the
another
Rift
300
in hand
by
as well. They defended
the
bottom
Nami over
side,
the Lulu.
Dragon as well as Krugs
Top
even,
side, those where the
with,
gold gets
part of them
equalized
being taken
by
down, and this is
Damwon,
gonna be a
sorry,
pretty
EDG.
nice reset for them.
And
Again,
yeah,
priority towards the
overall,
stages.
this is a very
Snip's going
solid
down towards
game
that top side, but Kia
for
as we pan down towards the
both
bottom lane.
teams, I
See
would
that
say.
Barrel
They're
goes.
both
Still
playing
doing
to their
fine, but EDG,
styles.
These neutral objectives seem to
And
have so much
honestly,
control over them,
I remember
despite
seeing
not quite
my
being 1,000 gold
EDG
ahead
versus Damwon Kia
or
versus
any
100
really massive
T1
margin.
versus
Their control
Gen
on the
G.
map is just very, very powerful. They will
Damwon
be able to
Kia,
take this
if
first
they're to be
round rate.
EDG, is
Next
they
one
needed
going
to
to the
shut
ocean.
down Viper. And so far, this game,
Oh.
it looks like they're doing so with the
Well, I was gonna
amount
say
of
that I'm very
pressure that
excited about
Ghost and
potential
Barrel
5
has been
games.
able
Of course,
to
we're still
put
very early
down.
into this
Oh,
one,
yeah.
but not
Now,
very often do you get world finals.
Bot
that go all the
side,
way to 5
sorry, mid lane
for
we
EDG.
haven't
I
discussed.
think the biggest surprise to
Too
many is how
much.
competitive they are
And
being with
Scout,
Darmon. Many
on this
expected
Zoe,
Darmon
he's
to
looked
come
very
in and roll
solid.
over this opposition,
I
but
remember against
EDG
BDD,
have
he
gone
was
through the
doing
gold
very
bubble
well.
works and have
The
had to
Herald
fight
is going to
5
be put
games in
down
every
mid,
single
so
one of
he's
their
going to be
series,
funneled a
and they
lot
may
more
very well be
gold.
able to force
Obviously,
a
he did
third
get
and
first
final
blood, so
upgrade.
there's a lot of gold
And we get to
in his
see
back
this game,
pocket.
too, if it was worth
And
it for
yeah,
Damwon to
700
dig
gold
into these
in the
losing
mid
early,
lane
but scaling
is
off
where
the lanes that they have got for their
EDG
solo lanes.
have their gold
Because
lead.
when, as
Same
everyone
in the
knows,
jungle,
can
there's
scale
another
extremely
700
well,
there.
1 to 2 items
Yes,
there
it does
becomes
get
a much
equalized
different
in the
beast as
bot
far as
lane
your team fighting, right?
slightly,
How they come together.
so
And
it
Orianna
is only
pairs
a
quite well with the talent for a shockwave delivery. with a
1k
lot of
gold
extra
lead
burst
for
damage.
EDG.
And right
But
now, it is
if
Canyon that has
the
been
bot
paying
lane
price
of
for some of this.
the
Extra
LPL
map
squad
control
was
from
doing
EDG,
slightly better
leveraging
or
those
was
picks.
equal
But
with
also,
Damwon,
Jhin into squishy targets.
then
Right? One
the
of his
lead would be
weaknesses
a
in the
lot
late game is
higher.
that He only gets 4 shots.
It'd be like
When you don't have
1.4,
that many
1.5k.
resistances, those 4 shots are quite lethal. So you're
Now,
very right in that Damwon definitely have some very powerful late game
as a
options.
whole,
We'll see though how EDG can leverage this early game lead.
Damwon
But there's
should
only
look to make a
1.1K
play
right
top.
now. And after using
They
the Herald,
should
weren't
be
able
able
take
to
that many
make a
plates down.
dive play
Team
come out
slowly starting to chip
soon.
away on the top side of the map.
After the Gwen obviously resets, she does have TP. And I'm intrigued to see how Damwon look to get themselves back. Divine Sundra picked up already for the Viego. But in fact, it might actually just be a bot play. As Talon's here, he is level 7, he has got ult. He's just going to clear the wave, the ward. And that's going to stop any advancement out of Canyon.
Talon still sitting at 0-0-0.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I feel for him.
he could go for a play here.
You don't look at a lot
I do believe he is hovering around. He's going to take the Scuttle Crab and jump back through vision. So EDG know where Canyon is. And as such, they're able to just go into his top side, invade, and possibly look for a play onto the Gwen. And he's going to get himself a nice red buff.
Yeah, it's going to be another steal away. Bubble lands
Meanwhile,
on the
top
bottom
side, Graves going to use the bust shot. Double exhaust comes through as the wave is used. The culling comes out as well, but the bubble is going to stop that cast. The curtains are open. The wild growth is used, but Talon is here. He's going to be able to take him out, and that's 2 kills over to Damwon here.
That is the lane that you are praying to as the Talon jungler.
And it's time for Damwon to shut down the EDG bot lane as Canyon flawlessly dives, forcing out early all of the abilities from EDG. But the bullets from the Jhin didn't come out until Wild Growth was used, and that was very well done by Damwon.
Not today. We're going to make sure that you do not get absolutely everything.
Yeah, these Krugs being battled over right now as Beryl comes on in.
But that turret is being taken very low. Good work coming out from EDG to try and equalize the gold yet again. In fact, they're still ahead.
Beryl got to recall early there and come out
and just so much gold coming over as we watch this again. So he goes forward, double exhaust. The wave hits both of the EDG bot lane. The bubble was perfect with the culling being stopped. Wild Growth is forced out on the second bullet of the Jin's curtain call, meaning that Jin can just switch targets with his shots, and easy peasy lemon squeezy as Damwon just flawlessly execute the dive.
Ghost and Beryl utilize this matchup so well, stealing away that Nami, then aggressively pushing in over and over and getting.
You then realize that Herald is up in less than 30 seconds. And both teams will want this. More so the fact that EDG have actually found a pick here, as Talon is just going to be taken out by Viper. And never mind the Herald for Damwon here. They're going to be forced back to trade it for a Drake. It's going to be an Ocean Drake, but you think about what the Drake soul could actually be. Never mind. EDG coming over here to stop this from happening. They're going to bring members down. Obviously, Damwon don't have a jungler, and they're just going to give this one up, maybe. Viper did a lot of work there to kind of equalize some of the goal. He is still down his CS.
And they just don't lose
but the Herald goes into back pockets of the LPL squad, and the LCK squad managed to equalize some of the gold with a bot lane tier 1. So what we're seeing here in this game is EDG having a strong top side, Damwon having a strong bot lane. Now EDG could quite easily transition over to the bot side. Having 2 members down is where you should be looking to focus your efforts. JJ obviously can come quite easily pathing down here, as that's the chunk put down onto Canyon. But you then realize mid lane is just an even fight. There's no need to put effort there. Zoe
they took a
can
gamble
roam
going for this
quite
Nami pick,
easily.
right? We
Same
don't
with
normally
the Ori.
see
There's
Nami
no
Jin
real
as a
stopping of
duo,
it.
but we saw how much
But
Sustainer had.
it does
we saw
so
how well
much
they
work.
traded into Viper and Mako.
Now
and
that the
advantages
top
that they've
laners have
gotten
switched,
keeping this gold relatively
and
close to
we
EDG,
have
giving them
Flandre in the
potential
bot lane,
position to get to that
we
late game
have
teamfighting push.
Yeah, and I
Khan
really like the sort of CC
going
combo
still
that
top.
they're
It is
demonstrating. It
Showmaker
works
versus
very similarly to
Flandre,
sort of like
and
Lulu,
probably is gonna
Jhin
be
mixed with a Zillion,
a
right?
Scout
Because you get that extra movement
versus
speed,
Khan.
as well that the Lulu and
As a
Zillion
whole,
sort of provide. So it
this
makes
could be
sense,
pretty
sort of something
big,
that we were
as
talking about in the first
actually
series as well.
we're gonna
But,
have 4
Nami are gonna
members
find it very
mid
difficult
between
to
both
ward,
teams.
especially into a Zoe composition. So as this game
Because
goes
the
on,
Herald
we're
gets
looking
put
at
down
Dunman
mid.
with a
That
scaling
should kill the
composition,
turret.
But can you get onto the map in order to
It is
try
gonna
and
get the
claw your
charge
way
off,
back is going to be the
and down
question.
it
And so
goes.
far, Damwon have not had the answer whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Bubble,
because EDG
not
have
gonna
done
land.
so well with all
But
their
Herald
priorities.
might get the
JJ
second
is
charge.
2 levels up on
It
Canyon
is going to
as
land
their
it. The Cullen
trail
comes
starts
through.
with number 2,
A
and
lot of damage
a lot
put
of
down
hope goes
onto the
through.
Orianna
EDG have done
as
such a
it
good
got
job
polymorphed
leveraging this
and the Cullen got
controlling
chucked out.
the jungle advantage that there are no dragons to rely on in this game like they did in the previous game.
Now-
The comeback mechanic for Damwon was really good team fight. We've got
EDG
good scaling, and we've been stacking these dragons.
playing
trying to
for
slingshot
Mountain
us.
Soul
When
this
we win
game.
that fight, when we cash
2
in on
Drakes
the
are already
Soul,
on the board for them.
to resurface
They're gonna
in this game. But this time
possibly
around,
have
EDG
to
have denied them the
concede
And the
maybe
thing is,
the
when
next
you
one.
have the early game lead,
with
you
the
know
fact
you're
that
stronger at this
there
point in the game. You can also
may
leverage Drakes as a means to, like,
into a
hey, come
throwaway
fight.
around the
sure,
map.
maybe at 3 items, you're
It'll
stronger
be
than us, but we'll
around
fight you at 1, we'll fight you
the
at 2, and we'll force you to
Baron
come and fight
spawning
thanks to
that
this
we
really
could
great
see
stacking.
another
So,
fight.
EDG, well, I
But
mean, it's obvious they have everything that they want. Right?
they
They've
are
got themselves early
content
towers,
with
they've got all the
everything.
heralds, they've got
They're
all the
using their
Drakes,
pressure
laners have
across the map
completed all
very
their first
nicely.
itemization, they're already
Graves
working on
is
their
playing
second. Things
his
are
role
looking
perfect.
great
He's
for
just going
EDG.
from lane to
The
lane,
only
taking
concern
turrets.
is that they're playing against Damwon Kia, current world champions. They have a tendency to find their way back into
Now,
games like this.
We're
by
going to
large
have
due
this
to their fantastic
pretty big
and
lull
world
point,
class
I would say, in the game.
Not to mention their
There's
control of map
a
play as well
state
later in the
of
game as well. I think that,
just
if you
CSing,
compare these two teams, EDG built a lot
and
based on team fighting, but
we'll have to
Damwon Kia do
experience
like to
this
play
for a
side
couple
lanes, and
minutes.
They do have a Gwen. She can excel
And
in
you
that
then
department,
have
but
to
we'll see
realize
more from
the
Damwon
items
Kia,
across
'cause right
the
now,
board
EDG have had full control
as
and they're not letting up.
This
And at this stage,
Lucian
I think that we
from
should be
Viper
getting the Silver Scroll record
hasn't
out
been
of the sheet.
his
Careful, Alice, careful.
it's
Your
been
caster
his
curses have been
very
powerful today.
big tool that we saw in the last series against Gen G. He was using it as an engaged champion. Gale forcing forward and then using the Cullen to burst out targets. Now, with this Damwon Kia squad being kind of a bit more bulky than what we're used to, and the fact that obviously the Cullen can be avoided by the Gwen, it can be slightly negated by the Nami wave. It won't have the same amount of power, but
yeah, this is a 3-level advantage for
Graves
the Graves, who just
gonna walk headfirst into the canyon, and possibly could look for a collapse here.
Where
The rest
they
of
got that information from,
EDG
but I
is
saw
not
ping in the
near.
river. It was the little blue flag, and they said Canyon is making his way towards the bot side of the map. Be careful, Flandre. And immediately he responds. But it looked to me like he was completely in fog. So just great awareness from EDG, kind of like narrowing down all that top line side vision that they do have. They're basically saying, well, if he's not here, he's got to be making his way towards bot.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where when your other 2 lanes pull back that have been
Ooh, it's
pushing,
big purple worm
you stick out
time.
like a sore thumb.
Onto the map it
You're the
comes.
only one pushing out there and no tower.
I love that little effect of the Baron spawning when they actually show it on the actual broadcast. But Mountain Drake is going to be up in 30 seconds. We're going to have a fight there. And we need to discuss team fighting. Damwon Kia perfectly strong, solid team fighting team. The Ori plus the Talon combination is what they're looking for. Canyon is looking for a flank, and he can do that with his abilities as Paddle Star. Going to be avoided by the Gwen. And good play there to force Nami back and flash. What can Damwon Kia do? They're being forced away from the Drake. A lot of poke landed down onto the Zoe. And Damwon, using the blue trinket, see that Drake's just being taken. And they're going to just stop the mid push. and secure the Mountain Drake
Again,
here.
you know, we talked
And
about
Soul
patience
Point
for
is
Damwon.
on.
We're really seeing that from EDG
The
here.
EDG
You know,
side.
they're not overcommitting. They know that they need to leverage the poke from Zoe, and Scout just playing at the edge. I love that we are seeing Damwon also sidestep a lot of this poke. They're respecting it, but because they're showing so much respect, like they have to, they concede control of the river, and that gives the third Drake over to EDG. But now Damwon looking to go on the offensive as they attack mid tier 1.
And they should be able to answer this one, but will EDG be able to offer is going to be the question. That bubble is absolutely beautiful from Scout. As the shockwave hits 3 out of nowhere, is the follow-up going to be there? And the curtains are called, and that's going to say yes. Scout still unable to get quite out of position, and Showmaker picks up the kill in the end. Well, I didn't even see the orb. Just popped him.
Okay, Showmaker, with the entire world here holding their breath, watching as EDG get a leg up and another objective and another objective. The Showmaker has had enough. He finds a shockwave and just opens up a kill. And that was a brute force play too, because Damwon gave up 2 waves on top side that just crashed into that secondary turret. The bottom side had also been pushed in by Graves, so they really spent a decent amount to make this play, and they were stubborn. They just kept everybody mid, and it's as they're walking away, they lose sight of the ball on the side of EDG, and a great awareness there from Showmaker. Pulls it off. He even ends up getting the last hit as well.
In that Axe Effect replay, great demonstration of the fact that Showmaker still has that killer instinct, right? Because we haven't seen that from Damwon Kia this game.
That was
whatsoever.
honestly really solid
It's good to
play
see they're
from
actually pulling these
Damwon to
triggers,
pull themselves
signs
back.
of life.
Obviously,
Still, EDG
using
won't go in
the
at driver's seat, not quite
ultimate
that 2000
from
lead just yet, but those dragons
the Ori,
are where
just
You really,
in
I
a
could hear the
distracted
frustration in your voice.
EGG
It was
side.
like some Scooby-Doo,
3-man
those
ult
pesky dragons.
just means that it's easy
If it
for
wasn't
the
for those
follow-up
pesky
CC
dragons.
damage to come through
That's what
from
EDG have built for
the
themselves, though, and
LCK
it really
side.
is a great insurance policy for the later stages of this game.
Now,
Not to mention the fact that if they do get these picks, the Viego does skew things so powerfully.
And you
No,
can see Damwon again, they
intriguingly,
keep fishing for these trailing split
Damwon
push plays.
now have
It's
the
really
push
common
on the
when
map.
you have 2 solo lane split pushers
And
and they both have teleport. you can have
EDG
one
have
shadow
forced
the
the group
other.
up here
But since there's so much
in a
mobility
four-man
and talent,
bundle
being able to jump over walls
as Viper
and parkour through the map,
clears up
he also can
the
just kind of
wave.
hover between lanes here, and you see Kane's
But
doing
look
a pretty
at
good job
Canyon.
providing some battle
He
ward
is sitting
vision
between the
as
2
well.
lanes
The
where
human ward
Gwen
standing
and
in
the
there
rest of
just
his
to make
team are.
sure that they can actually
Meaning
push
that
up and get
it's
that last wave
very
in.
hard
also
for
peanut strats.
EDG to go between lanes
The peanuts.
without
Yeah,
being
it was the
spotted.
battle water.
Okay.
Getting in there.
And
I also just
I
want
would
to
honestly
highlight all the
favour the
vision
fact that
investment from EDG up towards the
EDG
top side of the map. This is the cross map that you're seeing.
cannot
As
match
bot
the
lane was
TPs
being
at the
pushed in,
moment
EDG
that
moved up towards the top
Damwon
side.
Kia can
That
put
was
out. They've
why
got
we
double
received
TP,
kind of
so you
transition
could quite
of
easily
why
see a
Flandre
massive
was playing
collapse
so
coming out from
defensively. And, again,
the
EDG
LCK
respecting, even though they know
champions,
they're ahead,
as
there are still
they
ways
can
in
just
which
look to
Damwon
play
can
the
come
rest
back
of the
into
map.
this game, and they want to avoid all of those options and to make sure that they maintain control. This next Drake is going to be massive. The good news for EDG is they have a choice. They can force Damwon into a situation where, hey, do you want to do Drake, or do you want to try and fight as a Baron, maybe, depending on their positioning. The most important thing here is this mid-wave control, and so far
Mid-wave
EDG have been
has
very
just
consistent
been
at fighting for it.
Yeah, I feel like the best response
interesting,
in
I would
those
say,
situations
with
when
the fact that
both
I
outcomes are
don't
pretty
think
bad
it's been
for
pushed
Damwon
further
is
forward
to try and
than
force the fight.
the actual
Because
Yes.
then you don't end up
literal
with one of the
middle
bad
part
ends
of the entire
trade of
lane.
objectives, since
It
EDG
has
have the upper
been
hand here. You know,
very,
they're the only ones on
very
0 points, so they're so much
clean.
bigger
It's
rewards
been
with fewer
cleared by
risks.
both
And
teams
so
very
then if you
well
force
and
the fight, then
effectively.
you get to take whatever you want
And
afterwards.
yeah,
It's king
there's
of the
been
hill.
not much
Push them
pressure
off.
other
Get
than
off my land,
when
off my
the 2
lawn,
teams
as they say.
get
Damwon
kills. And
They really
as
want to
such,
try and
that
find a
kind
way on
of
the map, but EDG have
makes
just
it feel
honed
that
everything
unless you get a
about all the
kill,
watery parts, and they are the important ones.
there's no
EDG
winning
just
this game. It's
taking
going
down
to stall out until
woods
late.
in the river.
And we don't
And
want
with
that.
this mountain
And
tree,
with
it does open some doors for
the
Zoe
Mountain
as well. There are
Soul
just so many corridors
being
that
up in
get
40
created.
seconds
So
for
I will say is
EDG,
Damwon just had a very
this is
good
going to be
reset.
quite
When you look at
hard
their
for
inventory, a lot
Damwon
of
to walk
control
into
at their
because the
disposal.
vision
EDG
line
been
has
out on
already
the
been
map
set
for a
up by
little while.
EDG.
Their itemization is good, but because of
But
Damwon's
Damwon's
base timing, they've
obviously
actually been able
had
to match
more
pretty much
time
across
to
the board
back
except
and
for
get
top lane.
items.
That's where Flandre does have the item
And
advantage,
now
and that's
this
kind of where
is
that
going to be
goal difference
hard
exists.
as the
Good
chunk of
coming
damage
from
comes down
Showmaker.
to Zoe.
Forced to
Force
use
the
cleanse.
cleanse.
This means that
TPing back
Basically,
into
point
the
I'm trying
fight.
to get, Damon's in a good position right now and can definitely look to contest this
And
objective.
what
They still need to
can
try and get into the
EDG do
darkness
to
that
stop
EDG
them?
have provided.
Because
Whether
mid
they
lane's
can
going
do
to
that
push
is
in
going to
favor
be
of
the
downward here. The
question.
TPs are going to
With
come
the
in
ball
from the
helping
Zoe.
out, you can see they have
Reset,
made their way
revitalize,
into Khan as
ready
well.
to go.
Put down his
Canyon
fist.
is behind. He was spotted out on that ward.
People have told me
And now EDG have to be aware of the talent. They've got to be aware of the
All
Ori
summoners
ball.
are up for both
And
sides,
the
by
Zoe
way.
needs to continue to
This is
throw out
a
these
big
battle stars and
moment for
the
both of these teams.
bubbles in order to
EDG
keep
to get to this sword
away.
point. JJ smites have
The
just
bubble
been
is going to
so
land,
good.
and that's
He's
a
in the
Drake
box. He's
stolen!
away.
And Down Kia, they need to run. Exhaust is going to be put down onto Khan. The bubbles are going to miss, but Down Kia have the Drake stolen from under their eyes.
This is gonna be
What a
huge
play
for them.
coming
Now
out
they don't have
from
to worry so much
EDG,
about
but
that burst
could
damage
Damwon
coming out
transition
from
over to the
side
Baron?
of Damwon.
That's what they're looking
They get
for.
to capitalize
As
on
Flandre
all of
has
their
got the
efforts.
push in bot
The only
lane,
response
he
a
is
slight move
able
up
to TP
towards
up there.
Baron, but with
But
the vision existing already here for
this
EDG,
is
they also
huge
get the bottom lane
as
push,
they
more
just get
money off
a
the extra
turret in the
power.
bot
The only
lane.
reason why Damwon would try
Soul
and force
on
that
top
is to
of
try
it.
and get that TP out from
And
Flandre. At the very
nothing
least get
can
something back from EDG,
be
but
done.
they realize it's not
So
worth
we
the
watch this
risk. All of
smite
EDG
fight
has just gone back to
again.
base. But let's have a look back
Watch
at this
the Zoe
steal.
is just
So it's
chunking it
Damwon
down.
that controls
Canyon
the
jumps
hit.
in.
Sleep comes through. He
Drake
goes
gets
in. I think both-
smited
Beautiful.
Oh, I
at
mean,
the
that was
same
just a great
time.
smite overall.
It was just a good
1200
smite
HP, he's
out
still able to
from
secure it.
Flandre. While
And
growth
those
on top
smites
of
are
him
basically the
means
same
he's able
Well,
to get
yeah,
out.
I mean, at the bottom, it didn't even look like Canyon threw his smite out.
Great
But
work by
I'm never too sure
the
with those cooldowns at the bottom.
JJ
Regardless,
to
JJ
get that
is able to
Drake.
secure it. EDG now find themselves with a 2.5k gold lead, and they are very likely going to be taking us to that game 5.
And
the problem is,
this is
they
looking
haven't
promising
really won
for a
big
game
team fight yet.
5.
They haven't really been able to secure something.
There hasn't
massive. This
been
soul is
many
valuable, but we've seen
fights
many teams lose
overall
this
on the
soul
map.
before.
And as such,
Console isn't exactly the most
realistically,
coveted one. That
we
is
could
true,
be
but
seeing
EDG still in a great
a very
position, and if
quiet
they can
game
keep forcing Damwon
in
to
terms
fight where they
of
want them
fights,
to and
but
being able to
a
deny
very
vision like
dominant
this,
performance
how
out of
does Damwon
EDG.
get in there? They've got Beryl
So,
that wants to be warding, but
realistically,
he's Nami.
this could be
Not
very,
really
very
safe when you try and move in and
close
try and
when it
get
comes to
vision
Game
back.
5
So Damwon do need to move
as a
as a
whole,
unit to try and do
because
that.
these are
EDG
two
just
very
have so much more power when it comes to the tempo
colliding
advantage, getting
styles,
their
I
vision
would
where they
say.
want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, the Mountain Soul actually goes a long way versus those surprise plays of the Shockwave and possible Talon combinations that come out. So it's going to do a bit to protect them of what kind of occurred earlier in mid lane 2 and not having quite enough damage then to finish them off. And they should feel so confident here. I just have to say, again, re-emphasizing for
What?
EDG being here in finals, so big for the LPL and so much success off of one of the youngest players in JJ. And he had such big shoes to fill coming into this organization. You know, everybody always had eyes on Clear Love for the entire history of the organization.
Yeah.
But he's really putting up when the team needs him most.
I mean, it's been an up and down year for EDG for sure. Their spring split was not the strongest, falling short, but in
So-
summer they really did step up. Many people didn't even expect them to take down FPX, but they really have been
Now we
a
have
very
to
strong representative for the LPL. And
look at
while there have
Game
been a lot of
5
doubters,
more.
I think that EDG is
Two playing
silencing a lot of
styles,
those
as I
doubters
say,
and putting up a very strong
but
performance here
realistically,
against Damwon. Let's see if they can close this out.
Can
And I just want
we
to highlight
see
MVP top tier 1. One of the big
anything
things and why
good
this has been so
coming out
valuable is
from
Flandre has been
Damwon
able to
here
sit
to
bot lane.
fight
EDG
back?
really
I think they
haven't
might
had
have
worry
to
about
toss
that
the
top
Baron.
side of the map because every
50-50
time Damwon
it,
pushes in a wave,
and
this
hope that
tower
Canyon can win the
prevents that
smite
wave
fight.
from ever going past the river.
They
So
might
even
not
though they
win
may be
the
losing
following
Father Time,
fight,
it's not a point that they really need
but
to be concerned
you then
about, and
have
it
to
means they keep
realise
playing through 2 lanes, which EDG much
it's
prefers, 'cause
very
they can keep the
hard
Zoe
for
with the
Damwon
group,
to get
and
back
the poke is
in,
always a
other
threat.
than possibly a toss-up at Elder
Trying to
or
get some
Baron.
control back of this mid lane, doing
But
okay
I
at the
don't
moment.
think EDG is going to allow it, as they're
Down, but
walking
EDG
straight
very
back in.
swiftly
They're actually
taking it away. Vision
taking
put
it
down as
quite
soon as
low.
Baron was started
It
up, as
started
Canyon able to parkour his way into
by just Flandre. He took it down quite low on his own.
Now EDG get
Bubble
themselves together.
narrowly
That
going to
beach
miss
ball had
there.
landed. Could have been a very dangerous time for Damwon here.
And Damwon
This Baron
just
on
stepping
the board,
forward.
2
Where's the
minutes
Ori
to
orb?
Drake, where all of
It's
those
sat
big
in the middle of the
questions
wave.
get
It's
to be asked
gone
by
back
EDG,
to
then control the
Showmaker.
map state.
And you now have to wonder, where is the engage going to come through? As EDG, in pure darkness, starting up the Baron. As the blue trinket going to spot this out. Cully's going to be used, and it's gone below. It is melted very low, and the Baron goes straight over to EDG. As what does the following fight going to look like? As that is just a dead Gwen taken out by Flandre. As here comes a follow-up from EDG. Already got one kill in this fight. They've already got the Baron, and sure, Canyon is on the wrong side of the map. He's forced to jump over the walls. As Gale Force is going to force him back even further. As Lucian is bloodthirsty, but the push is going to not be halted. They're not looking to reset. They're going to get themselves to top lane tier 2. They're going to look to keep Damwon on the run. They've spotted him out in the jungle, and that's just a cheeky swipe onto the ground. And the push continues forward. The mid tier 2 is going to go now. Bot lane, no turret has fallen just yet, but this inhibitor turret is going to be another casualty of war, as the top laner from Damwon cannot contest. Mid lane inhibitors turret's going to fall, and EDG can now reset, spend the gold that they just got off of them 2 turrets, and the Baron, as well as the kill onto the Khan on the top lane.
This is, of course, dating back to quite a long time, but
the gold lead now has ballooned over 7k. It's now a very solid position for EDG. 4k already off this Baron, and have just reset to buy items. They've got mounted soul on top of that. Can they look for a pick as the bubble is going to land? They're not going to look for it, but instead they're looking for Jin, and he's just popped. Viega's going to get the soul of him, and he continues to go forward. Here comes Flardre. He's in the backline. He's going to let a lot of damage down as Navi is down. Showmaker is ever so low. He's forced to run on the wrong side of the map, but his teammate Khan is gonna be sacrificed properly as the Zoe gets a flash stolen. Over the wall he goes. The paddle star will not land. Blast coding over the wall is Khan, and he's looking to heal up off the Krogs, but he is on his own. Isolated, polymorph, and popped. But the turret and the game is over, and EDG in 38 minutes pushes to game 5.
Now they both have a match point. We are going the whole distance. I don't think anyone
game 5 is on the table, and I am really looking forward to this big clash of styles. And we know Damwon have choice of side. Will they go over to blue? Will they steal away this Lucian? Will they ban it away? Because Viper cannot get this pick. It is his best. And you then realize this Lulu was vital in locking down targets. Zoe, perfect champion for Scout. He should not be allowed it. And Damwon have a lot to consider going into double match point, series point, championship point.
Components of the fallen